Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. We're live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Action-packed 3-hour program coming up today. Nick Whalen, 30 minutes from right now. Reaction to Week 14, plus his best player props for tonight's Monday Night Football. Good one, Chargers and the Eagles. Warren Sharp, same thing, coming up in 90 minutes. We have the good, the bad, and the ugly. We'll get into college football a lot throughout the show today. And we have plenty of time on updated division numbers, yes-no playoff odds, awards markets, and Week 15 numbers as well. How were you feeling last night as the number one Chiefs hater on the network?
Yeah. Watching
that debacle against the Texans, and they go down again, and now they're dead.
No, not dead.
Oh, man.
Not dead. They're on life support to see what the Chargers do tonight. The Chargers' schedule is so difficult, and they go to Kansas City next week. They still have to play Houston, and they have to go to Dallas, and they have to go to Denver. That's the only hope they have. They did catch the break with the Danny Dimes injury, and I hope the league steps in and doesn't allow the Bengals to cut Flacco when he goes to Indianapolis. I don't want to see that. But they got the break where Dimes is out for the year, and as you called this, watch out, the Colts could miss the playoffs as they are now 13-point dogs in Seattle, and they have to go with Riley Leonard. Andy Reid blew it, and he blew it again today. That is just a horrific decision to punt there. Your defense is dominating the second half. I don't know if the Texans were capable of even driving down and kicking a field goal.
Three and out the entire time.
Your season on the line, got to have it game tied 4th and 1 from his own 30. To show you how bad that decision was, they were minus $3 to win the game in play. And he still goes for it. After the game, I blew it. Horrible decision. Today, you know what? If I had to do it all over again, I would do the same thing. You're out of your mind, Andy.
Did he not look
That's terrible.
like a coach last night that was almost on the brink of retiring and a guy who could not forget the game? He looked like a big body language guy. Yeah. He looked like a guy who could not wait for the season to get over with. Honest to God.
Yeah.
And Mahomes, it was the worst game basically he's ever had. He ended with a 0.54 EPA per dropback. That was the worst number overall. 42.4% completion percentage, worst of his career. 19.8 passer rating, worst of his career. He is now 9-17 ATS last 26 games, including 4-11 ATS against teams above 500. Paulie, that is the worst mark. Both of those are for any quarterback in the entire NFL. But it wasn't just him. Kelsey looked shot. Yep. How about the drops left and right? Mm-hmm. And then Reed again, clueless going through the game last night. If you want to lay the points of them coming up this weekend, be my guest. But this is what it looks like for the Kansas City Chiefs, where they're not pulling a rabbit out of their, butt every single weekend and getting away with a one-score victory. This is how it probably should have gone more of this way last year. And now we're finding out the team is just not that good. They're not.
They're 4-1 to miss.
They were back to 5.5-point favorites last night.
Yep. Chargers at home, at the Titans, Broncos at home on Christmas, and at the Raiders. 10-7 could get you in because the Chargers' schedule is so difficult. The other thing is you lose all these tiebreakers. That's the other thing. But this is just a great, great Houston defense. And the pass rush all over Mahomes and how well they played defensively. Stroud has to do a better job. I would argue the second biggest play of the game was he missed Hutchinson wide open.
Well, he made some awesome throws though last night.
But he gets Hutchinson out of the gates to start the third quarter. Then you're near midfield and you don't give the Chiefs great scoring position, field position as well. Fairbairn gets there again. How about that? 20-3 overrun. 1.5 made field goals. But
it's a 60-minute game, my friend.
Yep, they are minus 2,000 now to make the playoffs, and they have the Raiders coming up, Arizona.
So they might go 12-5.
Yeah, they could. They could win the division.
Yeah.
That's another thing, too. That was 11-1 not that long ago to coincide with the Dimes injury as well. So it was just a horrible job by Andy Reid. And for him to double down on it today, after he said I was wrong after the game, then he comes out, I do it all over again. That's asinine. You cannot punt there. And he did it again. Then he did it again, 4th and 4. He went for it as well. It's just your defense is awesome. You had timeouts. Houston couldn't move the ball, Andy.
So this is the first time in Andy Reid's career that he went for it on 4th down with a score tied in the fourth quarter or overtime and with his offense inside its own 40-yard line.
Why don't you run it? That's another thing.
And of course, Kareem Hunt has been automatic in these short yardage situations.
Yep.
And Mahomes is getting harassed the entire game. Nothing was coming easy whatsoever, and you had the drops on top of it. I just it was difficult even trying to explain what we were watching with that game last night. But I want good teams in the playoffs. And it's a long season. Things change, obviously. They looked dead and buried to begin the year, and then they got hot. And I wish you never would have sent me that text. Bet on the Chiefs to win the whole thing. I don't know. You remember what week it was?
Well, we're not dead, but
that ticket has no chance.
I'm shocked by that.
You know what?
They have all these weapons, and they can't move the football.
So which team is in worse shape, actually, the Chiefs or the Baltimore Ravens?
Chiefs are in worse shape. Did you envision a scenario in August where Lamar Jackson, Burrow, and Mahomes would miss the playoffs? How about that?
That would have been a nice little parlay.
No kidding. But again, it's just they are now 12-1 under their first half team total. Baltimore. Monken's doing a horrible job. Lamar's been bad, and they can't catch a break. I'm with Harbaugh. To me, that's a touchdown from Likely. I don't know. He didn't complete the catch and make the football move. And come on, what are we doing here? And then that's an interception too, where Rodgers goes to the ground and he has it, and the Baltimore guy takes it away from him. But those two calls go against them. They lose to a bad Pittsburgh team. The Steelers might actually win this division by default, and they have no one to blame but themselves. All this talent, so good offensively with the weapons that they have. The injuries, the defense was banged up. You had the slow start, and now to lose Cincinnati and Pittsburgh back-to-back at home, and they still have New England, and they have to go to Lambeau coming up. But I don't know if they go to Cincinnati and win.
The Steelers might win this division at 8-9.
That's true.
So somehow, some way, Mike Tomlin actually, that streak of having every single season go over or finish 500 or better might actually come to an end, and they could still win the division / make the playoffs. I did not see that the North and the AFC being this pitiful.
Yep.
I mean, it's just the Bengals defense again. Yeah, the Burrow I mean, what are we doing here, folks?
Oh, was that terrible?
But again, like the Likely touchdown that was overruled, he had, and I'll get into the explanation coming up a little bit later on, but he had to get a third step down.
If that's the rule, change the rule. That's dumb.
Of course.
That's dumb. That's 100 guys in a bar. That's a touchdown.
Can you imagine if the game of football was never invented and they were going to play its first season ever coming up and they ran these rules by everybody? How it changes in the end zone for the touchdown rules? Well, when you're a running back and you jump and the ball actually touches and it goes over, it breaks the line there, or it touches the pylon, that's a touchdown, even though potentially none of your body was actually ever in the end zone. But and by the way, if the guy comes down in the corner with both feet and does a tap dance, hangs onto the ball, that's good. But Isaiah Likely, that's not. People would be like, what are you doing? This doesn't make any sense. No, we're going to start over with the rules. That's what they have to do. The rule makes no sense. That has to be a touchdown. I don't have a dog in the fight. That's a touchdown. Come on.
Also has to be an interception, too. With what happened with Rodgers.
I agree.
That's, yep. How about all the overs? How crazy was that?
A lot of points yesterday.
Yeah. Other than the Minnesota game, everything went over.
And they almost got there on their own.
Yeah, before the Sunday night game. Yep. I mean, we saw it all. You know, Sanders looked like a franchise quarterback. Sabotage and horrible what Cleveland's done. How about the Raider finish? I couldn't believe it. Why? What? It puts the game over, and you get Denver and under becomes Raiders and over.
Right.
On the silly decision to knock the ball away from them, delay a game, they had no chance to get the playoff. And then why would you even bother kicking the field goal there? There's no time left. And of course it falls 7, and it comes 24-17. As a guy said,
there's one reason.
Yeah.
There's one reason, and it's obviously this racket that we're involved in.
I can't believe that. I can't believe the finish of that. Because it was 4th and 4, and Peyton passed on the chippy field goal.
Right.
And they went for it, didn't get it, and then the Raiders keep chucking it. They hit one long one, but the clock's going to run out, and then the stupid penalty. And Carlson makes the field goal 24-17. Brutal.
And it happened out here in Las Vegas, too.
Yeah. But as you know, it's just, you saw this. I'd rather be lucky than good with these Survivor contests and the finish of that game and the breaks and all this. It's nonsense.
Yeah, here's what happened because another contest finished yesterday. I was still alive with my partner. We were one of the final 8 in the Super Contest Survivor over at the Westgate. 6 of us were on Tampa Bay. That's the team that we focused on for this week. We went to war with. One entry was on Cleveland, loser, and Seattle. Tied at halftime, blew them out in the second half. That person who had Seattle and Cleveland, only person with 2 entries left, the same entries that a couple of weeks back were on Dallas as a 3.5-point dog at home, down 21-0 to Philadelphia, came back and won. And they were on Detroit at home against the Giants, had absolutely no business winning the game. And that person was also on the Bears when they survived the Giants when Jackson Dart went down with the injury. But I tip my cap to that guy. Incredible job, and that's what it's going to take. When he got, I don't know who the person is, but when he got there with Dallas and Detroit, we said on the air he's going to win the contest. Mm-hmm. He did a couple of weeks later. Think about this, if he was eliminated from the contest on those games, maybe somebody's on some other team yesterday, but if all 6 of us are on Tampa Bay, that's a 6-way chop, just like it was in Grandissimo, and all 6 of us would have been winners. But that person takes it down. I tip my cap. Unbelievable contest. I love the journey, and I can't wait for it to start again next year.
And Circa Survivor went from 900, and now we're under 15, and it went from 300 people are going to chop to will it even make it to Christmas? Mm-hmm. The top 2 selections go down yesterday.
How about that?
Mercy.
We'll discuss the circus that is college football coming up next, bowl games, and I want Paulie to make us a guarantee next year if sport does it again. Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Time now for a reaction to Week 14 and a look at tonight's big game in L.A. Chargers-Eagles. Warren Sharp joins the program, and he is on the Progressive guest line. Sharp.football is the website, on X at SharpFootball. Warren, let's begin with this. What we watched last night, your observations, Chiefs, Texans, and now Kansas City is completely up against it. When Reed went for it there, tie game, own territory on 4th down, it was the first time in his career he did that with the score tied in the fourth quarter or overtime, and his offense was inside his own 40-yard line. Overall, your thoughts on what he did there and the game in general?
Well, I understand mathematically it makes sense, but the math, I'll just say this, I'm more of an analytics guy, would lean more into that, but that math isn't taking into consideration what you've been limiting that opposing defense to. And, I just felt like his defense was playing well enough that he would be able to get the ball back in no real detriment position. But he stuck with the math. Multiple models was saying to go for it. In general, though, my issue is far more broad than that specific decision. My issue with Andy Reid is this decision to pivot into the run game with Kareem Hunt as pretty much your lead back, a little bit of Isaiah Pacheco as well. It doesn't make any sense to me. And you guys may not be able to see this that clearly. We'll see if it shows up a little bit. But the first 8 weeks of the season, they were running the football off to the right there. I've noted 70% of the time on early down first half dropbacks. They were successful. They were winning most of these games. And I'm talking about they're passing the football. They are passing the football at a higher rate than average. They were passing the ball on first half early downs at a 70% clip. That was number 1 in the NFL. No other team was close. The closest teams were like 65, 64%. They were number 1. That's normal. Andy Reid always been passing the football a lot. For whatever reason, over these last, 5 games where they've 1 win and 4 losses, they have dropped that pass rate all the way down from 70% down to 58%. And they're leading more into this run game at a league average rate. And the run game is terrible. Their early down run game on the season, dead last in explosive run rate, number 24 in yards per carry, number 23 in EPA per rush, and number 19 in success rate. Despite the fact that Mahomes is healthy, all the wide receivers are up and healthy, the tight ends are healthy. Yeah, I know you've got offensive line injuries, but that affects your run game as well as your pass game. I don't understand it. They're setting themselves up for more third downs that they then have to convert because they're inefficient on early downs. The whole thing is mind-boggling to me, considering the history of Andy Reid and the fact that you have Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. Why are you pivoting so much into the run? I don't understand it, but it's setting the Chiefs up for some problems where they might miss the playoffs now. And I think a large part is because of that strategy that they've taken under.
Burrow was great before the horrible interception. yesterday. I mean, hard to envision that Cincinnati might only win 5 games. Just how bad is this defense historically?
Well, this defense is terrible. And I've got this crazy statistic that I saw today. I've got to share with you guys. Not sure if you've heard it. The Bengals this year have now lost 3 games despite scoring 34 plus points in those games. They've lost 3 games where their offense scored 34 plus points. That has only happened one other time in the last 20 years. You know when that other time was?
I'm going to say the Bengals last year.
The Bengals last year. The Bengals last year, and now this year, back-to-back years. It hasn't happened to a single other team. Absolutely outstanding guess. Hasn't happened to anybody else in the last 2 decades, except for the Bengals. This defense is horrific, and Joe Burrow was, I thought, masterful when you consider what he's dealing with. He comes back early from this foot surgery when nobody else thinks he's going to be back. Not only does he average 51% success rate on his passes yesterday, which was 5th best of any quarterback in the NFL, doing so in those elements, averages plus 0.26 EPA, 8th best of any quarterback in the NFL last week. He is throwing the ball 9.1 air yards per attempt down the field and still completing 69% of his passes. You know where 9.1 air yards per attempt compared to Josh Allen playing in the same conditions? Josh Allen averaged just 4.6 air yards per attempt. Joe Burrow was up at 9.1, yet was still completing 69% of passes, completed 80% of his third downs. I mean, Joe Burrow had an outstanding day, like you said, prior to that interception, but it's a no-win situation for Burrow. I hope at some point people recognize how great and elite of a quarterback he is, but you're just never going to see it when he's playing in Cincinnati on that team with that defense. There's a massive ceiling that's limiting the upside potential for this team because of that defense.
Now you're spot on. Dynamite analysis as always. Warren Sharp, our guest, he's on the Progressive Guest Line. As for tonight, tricky game. Eagles, small favorites on the road against LA. Both teams kind of, Chargers absolutely need it. Eagles, I'd say the same thing here. What caught your attention here with Jalen Hurts potentially against the Chargers defense?
Look, this is the lowest implied team total for the Eagles in any game this year. I mean, their team total is set lower than any game, and it's an indoor game. So you would think they have the opportunity to score points here. But the biggest issue that they're running up against is the defense of the Chargers, which is a zone-based defense. The Chargers play 2 high coverages on 58% of snaps, second highest in the NFL. They play man coverage at the lowest rate of any defense in the NFL. That impacts Jalen Hurts. He has much better splits going up against man. Some of his receivers are much better going up against man coverage. And it's going to cause Jalen Hurts to hold onto the football a little bit unless something has changed over the last 10 days or so. This season, he's holding onto the football a lot more against zone coverage than he does man coverage. The one thing that it does encourage him to do, though, a little bit is to scramble with the football. He is a willing scrambler at a higher rate against zone coverage than he is against man. And like I said, this is the team that plays second highest zone, lowest rate of man. And the Chargers are allowing the 24th rate, best efficiency to running backs when they run the football. So they're 9th worst in the NFL defending quarterbacks that run the football. Now, they haven't faced very many of the over the last several weeks. If you look at this, you're talking like Geno Smith, Cam Ward, Daniel Jones, Tua. All of these guys have single-digit rushing totals since week 5. But prior to that, Patrick Mahomes had 57 yards. Geno Smith had a 20-yard rushing game, might have been one of his best of the year. Bo Nix had 33. Jackson Dart had 54. And Jaden Daniels had 39. So they were giving it up earlier in the year. His rushing total is right around 30.5, I think. At some spots right now, you can find it. I dabbled a little bit on that. Nothing really strong for me from a props perspective stood out in tonight's game. Off of a good day yesterday, already started turning the page a little bit to week 15 and looking at some of these games next week. But we'll see. I have bet after 2 straight losses, I bet the rushing total over on Jalen Hurts against the Minnesota Vikings, thinking we get a defense that's going to blitz him a lot, plays a lot of zone, and he didn't run the football at all there. So, this whole offense of the Eagles is far too erratic to have a level of confidence in betting their props this season, and just so up and down and mostly down.
We start week 15 with Atlanta at Tampa. You have an interesting observation on this game.
Yeah, I watched that game, obviously, as a lot of people did, Tampa versus the Saints yesterday in a monsoon. and Tyler Shook running all over the field
Mhm.
against this defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Baker Mayfield not having a great day in the pouring down rain. And it's impossible not to miss how destroyed that field got on that game. Just muddied up, torn up from the cleats. And now they have to play on Thursday at that same exact venue. So I'm interested in see what the grounds crew is capable of doing there to get that field in game condition. But I mean, that field definitely took a beating. If you watch it, especially in the fourth quarter, check out how that field looked in the game yesterday if you want to go back and watch the replay.
Great catch. Quick turnaround. I watched the whole game because I was on Tampa, unfortunately, in Survivor. And those conditions, I mean, to now that the grounds crew there to get it together on short rest here, they're up against it, I think, for that Thursday night game probably.
Yeah, what was the status, just so you can educate me real quick, on Bucky Irving? He left the game for a little while. He did look he came back. I don't know if he was 100%. Do you have any injury update there?
I don't have any update as of right now, but I'll be on the lookout for it for sure. Yep. Warren, thanks for the
he's obviously a vital piece of that team, and on the ground, if he's banged up, that's going to be a problem.
No doubt. Thanks, Warren. Enjoy the game tonight. Best of luck.
Thanks, guys. Good luck.
Good stuff.
There you go. He was on the Progressive Guest Line. Website, sharp.football, on X at sharpfootball.
Trey Hendrickson, season's over.
Yep.
Riley Leonard might not play for the Colts. Sanders will start for the Browns the rest of the season.
What are the Colts going to do? Brett Rippon?
Yeah. I mean, this is what a fiasco.
Yeah, that's they were at one point the 1 seed in the AFC. What does that go back 3 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
Before the Chiefs game?
Yep.
And now they're turning into big favorites to actually miss the playoffs?
Well, the schedule. Man. I mean, dimes couldn't move anyways. But now you got to go to Seattle. You have to play Jacksonville again. You play the 49ers at home, and you go to Houston. Oh, man.
They could lose out.
Yes, absolutely.
Was their win total wasn't 8.5, was it?
I was going to say that. Imagine if they lost the Germany game. Remember, that was 3rd and 21.
Yeah.
Dimes ran for 19, and then somehow we got it into Warren. They would have stayed under their win total with a 9-game losing streak to close. What an all-time beat that would have been. They're lucky they won that.
The explanation to overturn Isaiah Likely's TD made it 10 times worse. The good, the bad, and the ugly from the weekend. Coming up next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
So now we go. Updated division numbers, yes, no playoff odds, and some awards after Week 14. One more game pending tonight. In the AFC North now, the Steelers are minus 170 to win it. Ravens plus 170. The Bengals are 4-9, and they're 15-1 to win the division. You got to be kidding me. But this Pittsburgh Steelers now, odds on at minus 170 here. Ah, boy. Baltimore. What a
shame.
Okay, so you quickly brought that up earlier in the show. You didn't expand on it. You can here.
Yeah.
You think Harbaugh whack him? Done?
Yeah. Look at the issues in the playoffs. Look at the horrible home losses as a big favorite. And now this year, I think it's the time for a new voice in Baltimore. This is an embarrassment if they can't even make the playoffs with all that talent.
I agree.
And it's also Todd Monken, too.
Yeah.
Bad play calling. And Exhibit A was AFC title game lost at Kansas City. Exhibit B was Thanksgiving night.
No doubt. This is what I was talking about before the break. I may have said player. If I did, I apologize. It's a team. They were odds on, I think, 3 weeks ago to win their division. The Indianapolis Colts. They're now 22-1. The Jags are minus 165. Texans plus 150. Texans 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
8-9-1 in that range. And they are
11.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
They are rocking and rolling right now.
Well,
I love the defense, man.
yes. The defense is nasty, and also the schedules, they're getting hit by the deck with the schedule. 9.5 at home to Arizona. Double digits at home to the Raiders. At the Chargers, they close. Colts at home. I mean, that's 11 wins, and that's going to do it.
Is that right? They're down to plus 550 to win the AFC? Holy smokes.
I can't believe what's happened to the odds to make the playoffs. They're 2,000 to make the playoffs.
Minus, think about that for a second. Yeah.
Yeah.
AFC East, this is, still doable here for Buffalo. These two teams play coming up. Patriots minus 550, Buffalo plus 425. Patriots are going to be off the bye this week when they get them.
They did lose to Miami, though. So I would think the Patriots should be able to get the tiebreaker. But the Bills also play the Eagles in a couple of weeks as well.
True. Yep.
I don't trust that defense. But that's,
We just talked about the Chargers schedule. It's a meat grinder. They're 8-1 to win the West. Broncos are minus 1,200.
I was talking when they were $3, it was a gift.
Oh.
That their schedule's so easy. Now we're gonna find out. If they're fugazi, they're gonna get found out. But 10 wins in a row, and there's easy games coming up. They're gonna get the 1 or the 2 seed. The Chargers can't catch them.
No,
schedule's too hard.
I would agree. NFC, the Buccaneers are minus $3. Panthers are plus 240.
Well, the encouraging news is what came today. You're getting Evans back, you're getting McMillan back, you're getting Wirfs back. But as you said, Mayfield's compromised and is missing easy throws, and he's had a tough go of it. They've lost 4 or 5 now, but they also have to do a better job defensively. You can't let Shuck and everyone run wild on you.
God, no.
In 140 rushing yards. But they're better than Carolina. They should win the division, but this has got away from them. You were 8-9, minus 1,100, and now it's down to $3. The door's open now for Carolina. They haven't played yet.
Yep, here's Carolina's schedule. We're at the Saints this week. They're a 3-point favorite. They get Tampa at home week 16. They get Seattle at home week 17. And then they close at Tampa Bay. I mean, there's a very good chance, obviously, that week 18 game in South Florida is going to be for the entire thing.
Yep. You ready to call the North? Packers 240? Give LaFleur credit. He's 12-1 against the Bears. And if they beat them next Saturday, it's all she wrote.
Oh, yes.
The Bears have a tough schedule. I don't even know if I bet the Bears to miss the playoffs. It's a great story, but the schedule is so tough, and it probably comes down to the final game against Detroit. And I think that might not go their way.
Well, is there any way that Detroit could come and steal this thing?
Sure there is.
Because Green Bay's at Denver, at Chicago, Baltimore at home, at Minnesota.
No, division, no. I thought you meant playoffs. No.
Oh, no, I'm talking
Lions
division
can't
here.
win it. No. They're going to lose to the Rams, and you got swept. So that's it.
They would have to. I don't know if they just automatically lose to the Rams. I mean, I don't know if you can just.
I don't think they'll beat the Rams.
They're going to maul Pittsburgh in a couple of weeks.
You hope. I mean, go back to the Giant game though. I mean, and Dallas helped them out.
Yeah.
They can't stop anything. And again, they're getting horrible injury news every week.
Well, Green Bay also lost to Cleveland and Carolina. So you have that.
Well, I know, but Green Bay's playing well.
And in the NFC West, Rams are minus 145. Seahawks plus 180. Niners are 7-1. I don't think I can make a case for the 49ers despite having an easy schedule. This thing all comes down basically to that Thursday night rematch in a couple of weeks. Seahawks are going to get the Rams at home.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams updated win total 12.5. Both teams have 3 losses as we speak. Anything here with Seattle plus 180, or would you just rather bet them in that game against the Rams?
I want to do the in play at Thursday night, because that's the game Darnold gets rattled. He can't handle the pressure.
Could be.
And implodes. And then it's all she wrote. Bears, no playoffs, plus 160.
Okay. How about Buccaneers plus 225?
That's not bad either.
That's basically, you might be able to get a better number on them not to win the division.
Okay. How big this line will move. If the Eagles lose, Cowboys plus 850, or Cowboys win out, wild card, 10-6-1. Are you giving up on Dallas?
No, I'm not going to give up yet, although I hated their game against Detroit on Thursday.
Uh-huh.
Probably because I got buried on it, but their updated win total is 8.5.
Yeah, that's low. Washington, Giants, Vikings, Chargers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, you know what, maybe that would be the play.
Minnesota and the Chargers are at home.
They get Washington on the road. That's Christmas Day. And then that's going to be, again, the Giants game. To me, that would be like the Giants are going to punt on the game and just say, we're going to enter the draft with a high pick. Although they would probably also say, we want to spoil the Cowboy season because we hate them.
I took no on the Chargers, and I took no on the Bears. Plus 150 and plus 160.
I don't mind either one of those, and I would think about throwing the Buccaneers in there somehow as well.
Okay, now the awards.
MVP Stafford's as high as minus 180.
Well, that was obvious, but you called it. He's going to torch Arizona, and then the odds would shift.
Right. So now what happens this week if May comes back and he has a great game and they beat Buffalo? Does he catch him again? Come back down?
I think Stafford has a huge game against the Lions.
Okay, we said this earlier. I'm not getting down on Love or Allen, and nobody else behind them makes any sense.
I agree.
Offensive Rookie of the Year now because of Egbuka not doing anything yesterday. McMillan went from plus 125 to minus 160, did not even play. I got to tell you, the candidates this year are awful.
Dart, again, there's no way Dart can be plus 230.
I would agree.
Regardless of what your liability is and how people were betting it nonstop, he can't be plus 230.
Yep.
They might win 3 games, and he's hardly played. So I still think there's a case for Henderson.
So do I.
If he can still have some big moments here. Remember, they're on Sunday night now against Baltimore, and everyone will be watching against Buffalo. Could he have a couple games like he did against Tampa?
Not a single player wants this award.
No.
Again, Egbuka probably got to make that catch yesterday to tie the game up. But Mayfield, come on, man. He got open by 7 yards. Hit him.
So I also can't bet Warren with the Riley Leonard who's playing quarterback.
No way, no how. Yep. Offensive Player of the Year. It took off yesterday. JSN now minus 320, minus 350 in that range. Gibbs dropped. Well, he's actually ahead of Taylor now. Jahmyr Gibbs 5-1. Jonathan Taylor 7-1.
That's not right. Taylor's having an incredible season.
I agree.
He still had a touchdown. But without Dimes now, maybe it's more. Here comes 35 carries a game.
And CMC is 17-1.
Yep.
I have Puka in pocket 16-1 from way back, I think, after week 1. His numbers are absolutely phenomenal, and he's missed time this year. I wonder where he would be if he never got banged up this season.
All right.
And then Coach of the Year, great candidates here.
You ready to call it?
Oh, God, no.
No? Okay.
I think Johnson drifted out way too far. Bears are good yesterday. 12-1. I think Shanahan has a chance to win this thing. I have nothing on Cohen. I think Cohen can win. And I certainly think if the Seahawks get the 1 seed, McDonald's live.
There'd have to be a couple losses coming up for the Pats. But that could happen.
Yeah, it could.
I don't think they blow the division, but you lose a couple games and then...
Well, as we've seen, if you lose 1 game, Ben Johnson goes from plus 250 to 12-1.
Yeah.
And that game's tied at 21 apiece. They got the ball to tie the game up.
Yeah.
Later on.
It's really getting interesting now. And it looks like we're pretty much set in the AFC as far as the playoff teams. If the Chargers win tonight, I'm ready to call it. We know who's going to make the playoffs.
Well, then do you lose your bet on the Chargers if they win tonight?
Probably. It'd really be an epic collapse then to blow a playoff spot with the lead you have over Kansas City.
Yeah.
And pretty much in the NFC. It's probably just going to be Bears or Lions for that final spot. Incredible that the Bears go from the 1 seed to the 7th seed after 1 game.
We'll hit some college football up next, including, how about this? We have look-ahead lines to the quarterfinals of the playoffs already. I'll tell you about those next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
You can always tweet the show at VSiN Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Paulie Howard. We were just talking about awards, specifically Offensive Rookie of the Year, how nobody wants it. This is from the Mel Insiders. Look at the Saints' remaining schedule. Tyler Shuck, 250-1 to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's one tweet that we got. I'll give you another player coming up here in a second. Shuck was really good yesterday, by the way. Those runs were great. And they get Carolina, the Jets at Tennessee, and at Atlanta. Could he swoop in out of nowhere here, come from the clouds and steal this thing?
If I lose my win total bet, going to Hoover Dam.
Oh, do you have under 5.5?
Yeah.
Oh, don't say that.
For my balls. Yes, I do. It's a big one. I thought they were going to be the worst team in the league going away. This is squeaky bum time.
Oh, boy.
That was a bad result yesterday. I really like Fannin. Just a good player.
Oh, I love the guy.
Great hands, good rapport with Sanders. I could see him putting up numbers the rest of the season, too.
So we got from Colin. He thinks the door is wide open for Fannin, Rookie of the Year. He found a rogue 80-1. Maybe a rapport here with Sanders. A lot of books have 45-1. Caesars has 100-1 right now on him. He had a great game yesterday.
No one wants it. You're right.
Nobody wants this award.
That's right.
They're like allergic to it.
Mm-hmm.
Give it to somebody else.
Yep.
By the way, you had an observation in the break about the Heisman Trophy.
Well, it came down now a little bit. I don't understand. This is what you wanted if you had Pavia tickets. You wanted a ugly, low-scoring game where both quarterbacks struggle, and the door was open for Pavia. Mm-hmm. That's what happened.
Exactly what happened.
You can't say Mendoza makes a great throw on 3rd and long, and he goes to minus 2,500.
Yeah, nobody knows anything at this point.
No, that's right.
Here's the thing, right? Again, Notre Dame got to minus 3,000, minus 4,000 in the morning yesterday to make the playoffs. It's like 96, 97%. They didn't get in. There were 10, 11, 12s to 1 out there all morning long on them to miss.
Right, and nothing. Alabama was minus 3,000 before the SEC title game.
That's right.
They got as low as 230 yesterday at Caesars.
That should have been a suitcase bet.
They didn't move.
Yep.
They were a lock. They
Not
never moved. They were not penalized at all.
Sure.
Stayed the same.
So I tracked a lot of the Heisman Trophy on Saturday during this game, the Big Ten title game. So it went back and forth the whole time, right? Like saying at some point became the short shot. Pavia was odds on at one point. He was favored a lot of the game when nothing was happening. Mendoza would take over occasionally. When Mendoza completed the 3rd down pass to clinch the game, he went from -$2, -$3 in that territory to minus 2,500. Are you kidding me? That's a fake award market. He's not gonna wrap up the Heisman Trophy because he completed a 3rd down pass. That's outrageous to me. And I guess some of the straw polls had Pavia winning before the game on Saturday. And to your point, neither guy did anything to say, yep, now those straw polls are wrong. They're going to change their minds. I'm going to steal it from them. So maybe there is some value here on Pavia still at 6-1 to win it. Nobody else, though. That's it.
All right. Have you made any bets?
I have not.
Okay. I love Alabama. That first game was total domination. They were sloppy with the ball, beat themselves with turnovers, outgained Oklahoma 2-1. This Oklahoma offense is vile and nasty. They needed 2 complete breakdowns in coverage by LSU to win the game at home, or they wouldn't be here. That's what we needed. If Alabama just takes care of business and beats Oklahoma, then there's no controversy. And it's Notre Dame and Miami, and we're ready to rock and roll. But I just think it was 2, pick 1. I think Alabama beats Oklahoma. And I think Oklahoma's going to have a hell of a time moving the ball on them Friday night.
What do you make of the total? It's a key number of 41. Is that a bit high? If you like Alabama a lot, isn't there an angle where they win the game 21-10? Oklahoma does nothing on offense again?
Yeah. But it's also, with the turnovers, what could happen too.
Well, and Oklahoma's defense is obviously awesome,
Right.
so I would not expect Alabama to score 40 points in this game.
And I love the guy, but Mateer hasn't been the same quarterback since the injury.
No.
Not close. I like Navy Saturday against Army. There was 4. It's up to 6. Horvath, good quarterback. Army lost to Tarleton State. But then I did bet Arm, and it's moved. Jim Mora Jr. took the Colorado State job. I don't expect Connecticut to care, although they had a good year and won 9 games. December 27th at Fenway. Army opened a 3.5-point dog. They're now laying 3. I like Army in that game.
Okay. Did you grab the 3.5?
I was late to the dance, but I bet Army.
Anything on the Boise-Washington game, which is already going to be this weekend? Do they always pop up this fast? I thought there was a week in between.
No, you're right. It's a unique schedule now. Everything's condensed because we got a playoff game a week from Friday.
That's right.
I'm looking at the look-ahead lines are intriguing.
Yeah, the quarterfinals?
Yes.
So if we get Oregon, Texas Tech, there's an offshore book that makes Oregon a 1-point favorite. I think I would unload on Texas Tech.
All they have to do, they got to cut out these field goals in the red zone.
That's right.
They're one of the worst teams in the country at that. But you see how nasty this defense is. Oh, they turn you over. It's like Ocean's 11. They kill you, then they go to work on you. 12-1, ATS as well, guns up. Love this Texas Tech team.
I mean, would you not take the point? Take them on the money line to win the game? Maybe lay some alt numbers here with Texas Tech against Oregon. Hosted Indiana this year at home. That final score was misleading.
Absolutely.
Indiana dominated that football game. I expect Texas Tech to do the same exact thing if we get them against Oregon. Tech would be 13.5 against James Madison. That might be too low.
Yeah.
Alabama, Indiana, Hoosiers 5.5. Oklahoma, Indiana, Hoosiers 6. If Alabama is impressive against Oklahoma, I doubt they're going to be 5.5-point dogs against Indiana.
I'm not going against Cignetti.
Neither would I.
And that'll be a great scene with the Indiana fans at the Rose Bowl. But here's what I'm concerned about. Remember, every team off the bye lost last year.
Yep.
It was a negative.
That's right.
So that's something to monitor, too, this year. How can these teams win with the bye?
A&M and Miami is a fascinating game to me. The winner gets Ohio State. Look-ahead line offshore has Ohio State 7 against A&M, 10 against Miami. Now, if Miami wins that game as a dog and they look good, will the Buckeyes be 10? Miami's good.
Oh, yes. No doubt about it. I thought Nick Saban was fantastic over the weekend. Number one, Miami kicked Notre Dame's ass at the line of scrimmage. Love only had 33 yards. And just how many... He said they're going to be the most dangerous team if they get in with all that talent that they have. They were down to several starters in the SMU game. And their defense... What a job their defensive coordinator did. Oh, remember how bad they were defensively?
Yeah, sure.
It's a great defense.
They were laughable last year.
I'm concerned about Carson Beck.
Oh, of course. You
the
have
turnovers.
To be.
Yep.
That'd be the biggest issue.
Right.
But they got the playmakers here. I also think that, what's the total in a Miami-Ohio State game if that's the spot that we get here?
Yeah. Oh, what a matchup that would be.
Because that could be 17-14 all day long.
Yeah.
And the other one would be, Tulane gets Ole Miss. Ole Miss,
okay, can
huge
I say,
favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, they should have done a better job with the bracket. We have too many rematches. There shouldn't be this many rematches. In any event, it did not go well for Tulane in the first meeting. Ole Miss killed them.
Mm-hmm.
Question is there a distraction? And now with Kiffin gone, although that's going to be hotty-toddy, come to the SIP. That's going to be a great atmosphere. But I would expect Ole Miss to get what they want offensively against Tulane.
So if Ole Miss wins, they would get the Bulldogs. Georgia, 4.5 on the look-ahead.
Now, Ole Miss did whatever they wanted offensively in that first game.
Yes, they did.
Should have won. Up 9 in the fourth quarter.
Yep. The first 5 drives, I believe, all touchdowns in that game?
Great job defensively by Georgia in the SEC title game. But that's the other thing about, I thought Brad Powers had a great tweet. Quote, I don't think the ACC was good this year, but Florida State beat Alabama. Georgia Tech only lost 16-9 against Georgia.
Right.
Louisville punked Kentucky. They were excellent against the SEC. So that's maybe where it's, how we really call into question how good is Georgia.
I will say this. If chalk holds in the quarterfinals this year and we get a semifinals of Texas Tech, Indiana, and Georgia, Ohio State, holy moly, is that awesome. Yeah. Even if we could have a fly in the ointment, it could still turn out to be really, really good, obviously. But you're right. Good observation, by the way, at the teams with the bye last year. I remember watching the Rose Bowl here live on the air. And Ohio State was playing Oregon. That game, Oregon, the number one team in the country, where the path that they gave the Ducks last year was by far and away the most difficult path. That game was over within the first quarter.
Back up a second to what you said. Remember we've talked about this several times, why Ohio State's playing slow tempo on purpose?
Yeah.
Because, now you don't have to do it. He's got to go up tempo now. You got what you wanted. You have the bye.
Will he?
Well, you should now.
Why did he do it in the Big Ten title game? He was slow as molasses.
You got all the time off now. You have the bye. You only have a couple games left.
Mm-hmm.
Now
remember, last year they went scorched earth in the playoffs.
They did. They were great.
They took it up about 10 different notches.
The Tennessee game was over early.
Oh, I mean.
The Rose Bowl was over early.
Yep. They took off, and they were, through the playoffs last year, Paulie, they turned into clearly the best team in college football.
Well, that's the other thing I'm worried about, too. Because, boy, the negativity last year, because all the games were blowouts in the first round.
Yep.
So we got a 17 and a 20-point favor right out of the gates in the anti-group of 5 stuff. So I just hope we have some competitive. The first 2 games should be dynamite on paper. The Friday night Bama, Oklahoma, and the Saturday morning Miami and A&M.
Right.
Hopefully.
I'm surprised they put those games in those spots. They didn't want a primetime game on Saturday.
Yeah. Are you going against the NFL, though, too? That's the other thing.
All right, well, we're going to recap our best bets from the weekend and tell you what we've added for tonight and this week with In-Pocket Plays on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.